Howdy peeps, hope everyone's doing well. This is just a really short and sweet video, I suppose. There's a lot of tarot readers out there at the moment, and before I start, I'm not actually like disrespecting anything like that. I'm not. There are a lot of them that are struggling with something at the moment in terms of horoscopes, in particular air sign, in particular Gemini. Now I think I've only kind of found one so far that has actually depicted what the kind of issue is, and I've obviously been looking and you know doing what I do. Actually, now that I'm a minute in, just about, some of you might have noticed a channel name change, and I've changed my little avatar. I've called it Cockapelli. I figured it's a bit more appropriate at the moment, at least, going on the way the channel's going. And since everything is about, life is about transformation, which it kind of is, man. It's like, if you stay stagnant, you're just going to, like, die out, right? It is what it is, well, for my channel it would. And I'm not expecting it to get any bigger or anything like that. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm just thinking, it's a bit more appropriate for 2023. I'm trying to kick out the old stuff from 2022, leave that behind, and anything beyond that. The videos that I've done obviously still available, so there's still plenty of information on that. But in terms of channel name and a few other things here and there. Anyway, moving forwards, 154. So, the reason so many tarot card readers at the moment are really struggling, and look, I'm not a tarot card reader. Well, I am, but I'm not experienced, so I'm complete amateur. But to give some insight as to what's been going on, and look, if I've got any of these wrong, please correct me. I have got an instruction booklet, but So first of all, we're dealing with moon energy. Okay, the unseen, which is occult, right? What you're not seeing, what you can't see, in some, maybe more cases than what we care to give credit for, why you can't find the answers for the readings that many of you have been giving, is because of this. Yeah. Not necessarily obsession, but definitely something that is considered that way. Now, these, like I said, these I've actually picked these out. I've not shuffled them and like no, right. Now, for some of these people that this applies to, that might be in this scenario, I think they're going to need a tower moment, right? And I say need, they don't need a tower moment as such, but some of them quite possibly might require it. Obviously you don't force a tower moment onto anyone, it's just, if it happens. A tower moment quite possibly, which I would imagine would be followed by a dark night of the soul. Again, there's no real guarantee, in my opinion, that any of it would, air quotes, work. But then, after the sort of tower moment and the dark night of the soul, you get the sun card, which will grant them all a bit of a illumination and promising and happy days forward and all of this. But not only that, I think it would also take a bit of maybe a magician, and I'm kind of, when I say magician, I'm not referring to people doing their own thing in order to get what they want. It's like, no, don't take away people's free will, right? That's not what you do. That's not a good way to go. You start doing that, you start running into all sorts of problems, and you'll regret them pretty damn quick and in a hurry. I'm just saying. But lastly, ultimately, this is what a lot of people have been aiming for. This is what people have been wanting or yearning for. Gemini. the Lovers, air sign. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to potentially be the case in every single instance. I'm not even going to suggest that, you know, it's going to be a thing. You know, there are plenty of tarot card readers out there that are suggesting, you know, move along and see what's next. Except for me. You see, many of these tarot card readers, look, they're all quite generic as well. In terms of the reading, it's like, you know, you take what applies and discard what doesn't, obviously. Now, needless to say, if you're in a situation where it is suggested that your next person, soulmate, twin flame, however you want to refer to it as, if they suggest it's an ex, I would strongly suggest thinking very carefully about as to why you guys went your separate ways in the first place. If there was no drama, no BS in between, and it's something you would consider because there was no drama, no BS and no real issue, then I'd say maybe consider it. But if you're not sure, it might be worth not getting involved with anyone for the time being, and just sitting it out for a few months maybe. I say that because there's been a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of things on YouTube, there's been a lot of people out there really messing about with things that they shouldn't be. And they're not really thinking of the consequences of their actions. And they're not really taking into consideration, you know, the fact that we've got free will, right? God gave us free will. Now, sure, you can argue all sorts into that, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, you've got free will, and taking another's free will isn't good. This includes things like binding spells, unless it's to keep someone away from you because you're having some sort of altercation, which is different. But if you're doing it for your own selfish reasons, yeah, you might not think that you're going to suffer, but believe me, you will suffer. You will suffer the consequences, and you won't like them. And no one's going to help you, and no one cares, because you did it to yourself, so deal with it. So yeah, this is obviously not one of my usual videos, and like I said, the channel's kind of taking a little bit of a turn at the moment. I think it is something it's relative to me. It's still going to be on the topic that I've usually sort of spoken about, maybe. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good first couple of weeks into 2023. I can see that the YouTube is completely being destroyed by the Mercury retrograde at the moment. It's filling up videos. It says it's the content creator had done it like 3 hours ago. Then you look at the actual comments and it's like 2018. It's like, what? How broken is this? But this is what happens when you're in a Mercury retrograde. But that's all changing soon, as of tonight, in fact, I think. So anyway, with that, thank you all for listening. Thoughts, comments and opinions, feel free to jot them down. Until the next one, stay cool, stay free, stay out of trouble. Peace out.